Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I welcome all the 3 batches of Bhaktivedanta Vidyapeeth, along with some special guests today. This Vaishnava character class. Many of you have come here to study Shastra. Some of you are studying Bhagavad Gita, and some are studying Srimad Bhagavatam. And some, the new batch, or the oldest batch, they are studying Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So whichever scripture, Vaishnava scripture you are studying, the purpose of studying a scripture is to develop Krishna Prema. And Krishna Prema is developed in multiple ways, or I would say multiple things are required to develop Krishna Prema. One is sadhana, no doubt, meticulous sadhana that includes your chanting the holy names of the Lord, studying Shastra. Second is service, where you serve different Vaishnavas, serve the deities. Service to Srimad Bhagavatam. Thirdly, and most importantly, developing good character. Krishna not only emphasized on the importance of worshipping him, Manmana Bhavamad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. Krishna spoke. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, always remember me, offer obeisances to me, become my devotee, worship me, think of me. He said all this. But apart from these different aspects of sadhana, Krishna also emphasized on the importance of sadachar, cultivating the right mood. Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshantirajyavam. Amanitvam, adambhitvam means humility, pridelessness. Ahimsa, non-violence. Kshanti, arjavam, simplicity, tolerance, equanimity, satisfaction, gratitude. So these are the qualities that Krishna is repeatedly emphasizing in the Bhagavad Gita. And when we cultivate these qualities, we'll become dear to Krishna. The 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, last few shlokas, last 8 shlokas in specific, are dedicated to describing some important qualities that we need to cultivate to become dear to Krishna. Samaya bhaktaha. Bhakta samaya priya. Such a devotee is very dear to me. So, to become dear to Krishna, definitely we have to do sadhana and svadhyaya. But to become dear to Krishna, we need to also cultivate good character. Once, Krishna and his friends went to the Vrindavan forest. Not once, every day they are going as young cowherd boys. So one day, somehow Balaramji did not accompany Krishna. That day, these cowherd boys felt a little thirsty and they went to a lake near Yamuna river and drank some water, but they fell unconscious because the water became poisonous. It was because of the presence of Kaliya. And this Kaliya represents all the non-devotional qualities, qualities that are against the Vaishnava character. Whatever we discussed 2-3 minutes back, Amanitvam, Adambhitvam, Ahimsa, Kshantirarjavam, Kaliya did not have any of them. So how Krishna disapproves someone whose heart is hosting such qualities of envy, pride, greed, and so on, we can see in Kaliya's episode. An important lesson in Kaliya episode is Krishna doesn't desire the destruction of a demoniac person. Krishna only desires the destruction of the demoniac qualities of that person. All Krishna wants is transformation, not destruction. So Kaliya was living in the water. Kaliya has made a home with water. So now we have a beautiful auditorium here, Satsang Bhavan, with this big bricks, compressed, stabilized earth blocks, special bricks. They are not burnt bricks. And we have a nice floor, wooden floor, and some fans and lights, AC and projector, and other things. All these are coming from the earth element, isn't it? But Kaliya has made a home where all the walls and the floors and the ceiling and the windows and the doors are made of water element. So Kaliya has built walls of water, windows of water, entrances to the home, the doors of water. So Kaliya made a big palace or a kingdom within water only. Kaliya is living there happily, along with his wives, Nagapatnis. So Krishna thought, I must teach some lesson to this Kaliya. Kaliya built his home inside the water, in that Kaliya lake, and the water is poisonous. It's like boiling water with fumes coming out of it. And no vegetation also grows there. Even animals cannot come close, forget human beings. Even birds cannot fly above this water. If birds fly, because of the poisonous fumes and vapors coming out of this water, they will die. This is the nature of a typical envious person or demoniac person, or a person who does not have Vaishnava character. When people come close to us, they should not feel so intimidated, they should not feel very nervous. Actually, nervousness out of respect and reverence is fine. We should feel nervous in front of some exalted personalities. It's not that you go in front of a spiritual master or some exalted devotee and be very casual. I'm not feeling nervous, of course. That's not the point here. That positive nervousness which comes out of respect and humility are fine. A fear that comes out of respect is fine, right? Bhiya hiryacha bhavagna. Recently we celebrated Ramanavami. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a beautiful shloka that describes the characteristics of Mother Sita. How Mother Sita used to serve Lord Ramachandra. Very beautiful shloka. There, Sukadeva Goswami says, Bhiya hiryacha bhavagna bhartuhu Sita haran manaha. Bhiya means Sita Devi had fear. When she saw Lord Ramachandra, she was fearful. And that fear is not like some terror in the heart of some wrongdoer when he sees the king or the ruler or the punisher. This fear is a very healthy fear, a respectful fear, or fear of displeasing. That kind of fear is good. Bhiya, Hriya. Hriya means shy. She was feeling shy in front of him. And this shy is like natural womanly shy, and not that there is no possibility of expression. Sometimes shy also is accompanied with, okay, the person is so intimidating that you can't even express yourself properly. This is not that kind of shy. So Bhiya Hriyacha Bhavagna. Although she had some respectful fear, she had some shy in front of Lord Ramachandra, Bhavagna, she completely understands the mood of Lord Ramachandra. Bhiya Hriyacha Bhavagna. And Sita Devi has completely stolen the heart of Lord Ramachandra with her divine qualities. Right? So the point here is, when someone approaches you, you should be so approachable, you should be very welcoming, you should allow them some scope for expression. They should not feel intimidated. If they feel little uncomfortable, not uncomfortable, little fearful or shy out of their natural respect for you, that's fine.
But if our personality is in such a way that we only cause terror in them, we don't allow people to express themselves properly, if they feel very, very uncomfortable in front of us, that is not a very pleasant personality, right? So we need to cultivate such a pleasant personality where people feel very confident. First thing is, they should never feel that they will be misunderstood by you. Even if you have some tongue slip, or even if you say something which may not be that appropriate, they should be able to understand your mood behind what you said than just taking a literal statement and then taking you for a ride or misunderstanding you. Just like Akrura, for the first time Akrura came to Vrindavan. Who had sent him? Kamsa had sent him. What was the purpose of Akrura's visit to Vrindavan? All of you studied, some of you studied 10th canto. He just wanted to take Krishna and Balaram away from Vrindavan to Mathura. And he came as the representative of Kamsa. But still, Akrura was completely confident that Krishna will not misunderstand me. Krishna will not misunderstand me. Although I am coming here on behalf of Kamsa, still Krishna will not misunderstand me. That confidence Krishna has given to Akrura. So Krishna has multiple facets in his personality. Lord Ramachandra has multiple facets in his personality. One of the most important facets is approachability. And that approachability comes in a form where these wonderful deities will not misunderstand their devotees or whoever approaches them. Akrura came to Krishna as a representative of Kamsa, but still Akrura was 100% confident that Krishna will not misunderstand him. Similarly, Vibhishan was directly the brother of Ravana, demon Ravana, and just before the war, Vibhishan came to take shelter of Lord Ramachandra, and Vibhishan had complete confidence that Ramachandra will accept me. It's not that Vibhishan had to put so much effort to convince Ram. No, Ram, you want a certificate from me? You need some endorsement from somebody? There is a lot of approachability. Similarly, Krishna, in the case of Govardhan Leela, if you have noticed that particular moment where Krishna and Indra met, there are a lot of lessons to learn there. Actually, Indra felt very humiliated and very embarrassed. Indra felt that, my God, how can I face Krishna? I have created a devastating rainfall in Vrindavan. I tried to destroy all the Vrajavasis. I tried to destroy Govardhan. I tried to destroy Krishna. And I have criticized Krishna so much. And after 1 week, I took 1 week to realize what a grave mistake I have done. So he's feeling so regretful. He went to Brahma. And Brahaspati was there, Brahma was there, many other sages were there. All of them recommended that better you go to Krishna through Surabhi. With Surabhi's recommendation, as soon as Krishna looks at Surabhi, his heart will be melted. Then next to Surabhi you will stand, or behind Surabhi you will stand, and those loving glances will fall on you also, and you can comfortably express yourself and say sorry and convey your apologies. Then Indra went along with Surabhi. But that is the story from Indra's side. But what is the story from Krishna's side? Krishna already knew that Indra is going to come to say sorry. Krishna was playing with the boys, all the Gopa boys, happily. Knowing that Indra is going to come in a few minutes, Krishna left the game. He allowed his boys to play, and he came far away from where the boys were playing, and he came to a very secluded place near the foothills of Govardhan, just so that Indra will get a private audience of Krishna and he will be able to express himself properly. If Indra comes to Krishna when he was playing with the Gopa boys, and then, Krishna, please, can you please come? I had to talk to you once. Then will you think Madhumangal will keep silent? Do you think that Madhumangal, Sridama, Sudama, Stoka Krishna and all these Gopa boys, especially Madhumangal, who are little playful, they will ridicule Indra. They will insult Indra. I mean, out of Innocence. Out of innocence, they may just find fault with Indra, or they may joke with Indra. Oh, Indra, our Krishna has defeated him. Very playfully, as young boys, they may say something to Indra, and Indra might feel more embarrassed, more awkward, more humiliated. Krishna did not want that to happen. Already Indra is feeling so regretful. He's he's feeling so much of pain in the heart. So if I keep him in a more embarrassing situation, he won't be able to take it. So this is sensitivity. Krishna was extremely sensitive to the situation of Indra, and Krishna gave a private audience. Especially when somebody comes to you with a regret, with some remorse, or not remorse, I would say, some repentance in the heart. They feel very bad for whatever mistake they have done. They are coming with some guilt in the heart. You should give them that opportunity to express themselves instead of further humiliating them. In Telugu, there is one proverb. I will not say the Telugu, I will say the English equivalent. Don't beat a dead snake again. Or if there is a wound already, don't put some chili powder there. Already it's wounded, he's already feeling that pain. If you put some chili powder there, then it becomes a little too much for him to handle. So this is sensitivity. So Krishna had that sensitivity. Lord Ramachandra had that sensitivity. They were very approachable even to wrongdoers, even to demons. But I went somewhere else. I was discussing Kaliya past time. I'll come back to Kaliya now. Some related references I gave. I'll come back to Kaliya. Kaliya was not approachable even to birds, even to animals. Kaliya's lake was not approachable even to those who are little thirsty. All they want is just drink some water. They are not aspiring for the jewels on Kaliya's heads. They are not aspiring to reside in the palace that Kaliya has built underwater. They were not expecting anything from Kaliya. All they want is a cup of water so that they can quench their thirst. But Kaliya was not approachable even for such people. Kaliya need not even come and then come with a silver glass. Okay, please take this water. No. They will come, drink and go. But Kaliya made the entire lake very poisonous, that people who drink that water will die. You see, this is the extent to which people make themselves inaccessible, unapproachable, unavailable. Physically being inaccessible and unavailable is fine. It's understood. We are not Krishna to expand ourselves in 16,108 forms and spend time with all the queens. Krishna has done that. We may not be able to expand ourselves. Our time is limited, and the time that we give to people is limited. So accessibility may be limited. Availability may be limited, but approachability should not be limited. You understand the difference between approachability and availability or accessibility? You didn't understand? Availability means you have only limited time. You may not be able to 10 people. You may not be able to hear or cater to the needs of 10 people who may want to meet you. But approachability means whoever comes to you, they should feel confident to express themselves. Your personality should not be so intimidating. Of course, you should not be too lenient that they speak any rubbish in front of you. At least they should speak in a more dignified way, some useful stuff. That much demeanor you should keep. But if someone wants to genuinely present something, their heart, you should allow them to express. You should not close the doors of your heart so much that people feel so intimidated. So Kaliya had this territory consciousness. This is my territory. No one should come here. Okay, I will come to that little later. That will come more vividly in the next part of the story. But in this part of the story, just Kaliya was not visible in the scene. Kaliya is there somewhere deep within the waters. And even birds who are trying to fly above this lake will fall into the lake, will die. Even animals who come there, just by smelling the poisonous vapors from it, they will die. So, when people hold envy, pride, greed, lust in the hearts, common people cannot even approach them. Seeing such negative-minded people from a distance only, they will go away. They are so unapproachable because of their demeanor, because of their negative mindset, because of their unapproachability, because they are just pouring out so much of poisonous words or the way they conduct themselves is like very toxic. People can't even approach them. Just like Kalia Lake is not approachable even to animals and birds and gopas and gopis and any other forest animals. Even plants don't grow there. Except that special kadamba tree on which nectar drop fell down, even plants died, grasses died, no trees around Kalia Lake. So similarly, when a person is having so much of greed, pride, envy, arrogance, he speaks very harshly, people don't like to approach them. They're boasting about themselves, they're bragging about themselves, they're very dominant, they have a very dominant personality, they want to subdue people, they want to control people. Some people are a little excited, they're extroverts, that's fine, that's a different thing. There's no malice in the heart. They're expressive, that's all. There is no malice in the heart. So even if they're like apparently dominant, you understand, oh, there is no malice in the heart, I can always connect with him. Okay, if I go for a conversation, he'll speak for 1 hour, he'll speak 50 minutes, he'll allow me to speak only 10 minutes, that too not continuously. That's fine. He's not willingly dominating me. But there are some people, they don't allow you to speak only. They have absolutely no interest to hear your opinions or your emotions. This is what I think, this is what you need to do, that's all. They don't care. Complete indifference, insensitivity. So such people are very difficult to handle. Kalia is like that. Kalia had this kind of mentality. Then Krishna thought, I need to teach a lesson. All of you know the story. I will not go into the details of the story. I will just discuss only those few points in the story, few moments in the story where we can learn some important principles of Vaishnava character. So the first lesson or the first theme that we have discussed so far is our personality should not be so toxic or intimidating to others that they feel, oh, this man is unapproachable. This person is, we cannot negotiate with him. We cannot have a discussion with him. We should not generate that toxic vibrations. We should generate some welcoming vibrations. People should feel connected. Respect and reverence is fine, but if we have some negative mindset, if we have some mentality to dominate people, exploit people, and intimidate them, embarrass them, humiliate them. So such personality may apparently rule for a while. They may get their things done through people for a while. They may have an upper hand in some discussions or in some actions for a while, but overall they'll have to stay alone. Just like Kalia was alone. His wives, of course, they are very chaste wives, therefore they had to be with him. Otherwise, Kalia, who loves Kalia? I'm working on Balakanda. I just completed my work on Balakanda of Ramayana. When Vishwamitra did a sacrifice at Siddhashram, near Siddhashram, and he was about to leave that place, even all the animals and birds were following Vishwamitra. All these deer, forest animals, deer, whatever, rabbit or some birds, parrots and all of them, they were following. So Vishwamitra had to go to the next destination. So he came there to perform some sacrifice. Now his plan is to go towards Himalayas and stay there only and do some tapasya. But before going, he wanted to take Lord Ramachandra and Lakshmana to Mithila city and have that Sitaram Kalyan happen. So now he completed the sacrifice there. He was about to leave that place. There all the forest animals were following Vishwamitra for a long distance. Vishwamitra turned back and said, why are you coming? He greeted them with smiles and they were not giving him farewell, they were just following him. Because earlier he was very proud and arrogant, etc. He had a conflict with Vasishtha. But later, because of intense and prolonged tapasya, he gave up his lust, he gave up his envy, he gave up his anger. He became very calm and cool. He became the guru of Lord Ramachandra and Lakshman. And now that he is very calm and composed and very elevated in his character, even animals are attracted to him. We are not supposed to be like Kaliya. We are supposed to be like that Vishwamitra after his transformed state, not before. Earlier Vishwamitra was unapproachable. Earlier when Vishwamitra saw Vasishtha Muni and this Kamadhenu cow next to him, he came as a guest to Vasishtha's home, but he is asking, can you give your cow to me? How can you ask anything from Brahmana? And how can you ask Brahmana his cow? And Vasishtha said, I cannot give. When he says no, how can you ask? No, he's not even asking. After some time, he's dragging the cow. He ordered his soldiers, bring that cow forcefully to me. The cow herself generated so many millions of soldiers, and they fought with Vishwamitra's soldiers and the King Vishwamitra at that time. So he was completely defeated. Then out of revengeful attitude, just to compete with Vasishtha, just to become a Brahmarshi like Vasishtha, Vishwamitra did so much tapasya. In his tapasya, how many times he had to manifest his ego. I think some people who are familiar with the Ramayana can just understand this. He was affected by anger when he saw Rambha. He was affected with lust when he saw Menaka. He was affected with so much of competitive spirit and ego when he saw Trishanku. So many things happened in his life. But ultimately he was a transformed person. When he was transformed, he was so lovable and approachable even to forest animals. But Kaliya, in his poisonous state, he was not even allowing some birds and animals or little Gopa boys to drink water in his lake. To that degree, Kaliya and Kaliya lake is generating poisonous vapors. Right? We should not be emanating such negative vibrations. Our personality should not be in such a way that people feel so intimidated and very uncomfortable to approach us. That's not what Bhagavatam teaches us. Then, Krishna thought, let me teach him a lesson. Krishna jumped into Kaliya lake and started playing happily. He was swimming there. Tam prekshaniya sukumara ghanavadatam kridantim apratibhayam kamalodharangharim tam prekshaniya sukumara ghanavadatam. Prekshaniya means he was very, very enchanting, very pleasant to look at. Prekshaniya or darshaniya means that which is worth seeing. So Krishna's beautiful form as a 6-year-old child was worth seeing. Tam prekshaniya sukumara ghanavadatam. Sukumara means Krishna is very, very fragile in his body. He's very, very tender, very soft body. 6-year-old child. Ghanavadatam. He has bodily complexion like that of a dark monsoon cloud. Kridantim apratibhayam kamalodharangharim. Kridantim, he is happily playing. Apratibhayam. He has absolutely no fear of any enemy. Kamalodharangharim. His feet are like lotuses. His belly or his navel is like lotus. He is happily playing. But seeing such a beautiful, enchanting and captivating form of Krishna as a small child, 6-year-old boy, Krishna himself is so beautiful. When Krishna was a small child, he is even more beautiful. Seeing that, anybody would get enchanted. But Kaliya started biting Krishna's chest. Bhujaya chachada. Was biting Krishna's chest like this. That is the consciousness. Many people have seen Krishna during his manifest pastimes. Duryodhan saw Krishna, Shishupal saw Krishna, Dushyasan saw Krishna, Shakuni saw Krishna. Shakuni was competing with Krishna. If Krishna has a master plan, I have a bigger master plan. You can compete with Krishna in your intelligence or what? Jarasandha saw Krishna. And when Krishna was just running away, seeing Jarasandha and his armies, Jarasandha literally, foolishly thought that Krishna is fearful, he is running away. After being defeated by Krishna 17 times, along with his 23 Akshohinis of armies, still Jarasandha was foolish enough to think that Krishna is fearful seeing me, therefore he is running away. No logic. No logic in his emotions or thoughts. So many people saw Krishna. Although Krishna has a lovable personality and approachable personality and very sensitive to the emotions of other people, still these people could not approach Krishna because of their own mindset. If your mindset is not very welcoming, people feel intimidated to approach you. If your mindset is nice, if their mindset is not very great, even if you are approachable, they cannot approach you. Right? Both sides. So whether you are approaching another person or being approached by another person, what Bhagavatam teaches us is to maintain a very pleasant demeanor, to make yourself approachable to people, or when you are approaching people, approach with a pleasant demeanor. But when there is envy or pride or arrogance in the heart, people find it very difficult to deal with you, and you will find difficult to deal with even good people. Sometimes arrogant people or egoistic people will say, "Arey, uska sath deal karne sakte. I cannot deal with this fellow." Problem is not in him. Problem is in us. Because I have ego, my ego is not allowing him to deal with him. Sometimes it's very difficult to acknowledge the ego within us. It's very easy to point out ego in 10 people around us, but very difficult to acknowledge ego within us. Acknowledge our own pride, our own envy, our own greed. But if it is shown by others, we can easily say, he's very egoistic. Of course, sometimes it's obvious, but we should not fail to acknowledge the ego within us and try to take the medicine of humility for it. So, Kaliya tried to bite Krishna. And Krishna just swam away, not ran away, he swam away. So this whole chase between Kaliya and Krishna is happening within the water. So Kaliya came and tried to bite Krishna and kill Krishna, and Krishna is just swimming in the waters and Kaliya is trying to pursue Krishna behind. So like that this whole chase was going on within the water. At one point, Kaliya just caught Krishna and arrested Krishna very tightly in his coils. Very tightly. Then seeing this, all the Gopa boys and the cows and the calves on the shore of the Kaliya lake, they fell down unconscious. To cut the long story short, even the great Gopas and Gopis who are sitting in the village, who are not on the shore of the Kaliya lake, they are sitting in the village there, in their homes, all the elder Gopas and Gopis, they also started feeling some inauspicious omens. They started seeing some dangerous and inauspicious and evil omens in the atmosphere, and they also saw similar symptoms within their own bodies. It is said that when the left eye of a man kind of vibrates, it's an auspicious sign. And if the right eye of a woman vibrates, it's an inauspicious sign. So all these Gopas and Gopis are experiencing some kind of inauspicious omens. Generally, when you experience some inauspicious omen, you think that something inauspicious is going to happen to you. But Vrajavasis have a different mindset. Whenever they see something inauspicious, they think that something inauspicious is going to happen to Krishna. Because they are Krishna conscious. They are not self-absorbed. They are absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna. They are absorbed in their own love for Krishna. So, these Gopas and Gopis, they thought, we must go and see Krishna now. They ran towards Kaliya lake. How? Krishna's footprints are there. Vrindavanam sakhi bhuvo vitanoti kirtim yaddevaki sutapadam bhujalabdha lakshmi. The greatest wealth of Vrindavan Dham is this Vrindavan land is imprinted with the beautiful, auspicious footprints of Krishna, and these footprints of Krishna are not disturbed by anyone. So, if you want to know where Krishna is, he need not send his live location or GPS location. You can just follow his footprints and reach wherever Krishna is. So that's how all the Gopas and Gopis who were not in the forest also reached on the shore of Kaliya lake and they saw Krishna. Krishna is arrested in this Kaliya, coils of Kaliya. They were devastated. Some of them, especially Nanda Maharaj, they wanted to jump into Kaliya lake and protect Krishna, rescue Krishna and kill Kaliya if required. There is no logic behind this action, behind this attempt. There is only emotion. Because of their intense loving emotion for Krishna, these Vrajavasis did not even consider whether they have the capacity to confront with Kaliya or not. They are just entering the lake to defeat Kaliya, to fight with Kaliya. But Balaram just stopped them. There are many beautiful lessons there. But moving ahead, Krishna allowed these Vrajavasis to experience that pain of separation from him, pain of seeing him in such a dangerous condition for one muhurta, for 48 minutes. For 48 minutes, Krishna allowed himself to be bound by Kaliya. But later, Krishna did not allow. Krishna understood that if I allow myself to be bound by the coils of Kaliya, any moment further, even for one moment more, these Vrajavasis will die. Generally, Vrajavasis have so much of intense love and affection for Krishna, which is already unlimited. But when Krishna is in danger, their love for Krishna becomes even more. It's increased love for Krishna. And Krishna wanted to taste that intensified love and concern for Krishna in the hearts of the Vrajavasis. Therefore, he allowed himself to be bound by Kaliya for 48 minutes. Just to taste that intensified love and concern. Generally, parents love their kids. When they're happily playing, they see them and then they become very happy. But when the kids are very sick, then the concern and the love and affection and the attention that the parents give to the kids will be intensified. It becomes 10 times or 20 times more. Right? At that time, the kid can realize how much the parents love the kids. And sometimes even the kids become little irritable and even say, hey, I don't want this medicine. Still, out of their concern, the parents will not scold the kids. They will just go and feed the kids the medicines. So similarly, Krishna also wanted to taste that intensified love and affection of all the Vrajavasis. Therefore, he allowed himself to be bound like that. Anyways, there are many other moments. But the point here is, till now Kaliya had this territory consciousness. How can this little boy, 6-year-old boy, jump into my lake and play without any fear? Let me kill him. So Kaliya came to kill him. So this is my territory, this is my department, this is my area, this is my zone. No one should come inside. I am the Raja, I am the boss in this area. No one should just come inside. So this kind of territory consciousness or this kind of possessiveness is there in the hearts of all conditioned souls. Especially those who are not practicing bhakti. And even if you are practicing bhakti also, sometimes this possessiveness and attachment and territory consciousness come into picture. This is my area. Who is he to take a decision? You don't have to be irresponsible towards your area of service, but at the same time, we can't be so possessive, so territory conscious, we can't be so egoistic to think that, yes, I am the doer. We should have that open-mindedness. If somebody is giving an advice, which is valid advice, we should have the open-mindedness and that humility to accept it, to consider it at least. Right? But Kaliya says, this is my territory. Even a 6-year-old boy also cannot play here. That was the mentality of Kaliya. Same mentality was exhibited by Dhenukasur. Even Dhenukasur also had this territory consciousness. No one should come inside my talvan. Even birds should not fly above talvan. That is their mentality. So Krishna doesn't like this. In the name of being responsible towards your area of service, if one becomes overly attached to it and possessive about it and be too bossy and dominant and doesn't allow anyone to come inside, and sometimes it comes because of insecurity also. If he comes, he may take over. What will happen to me? Mera kya hoga? That kind of insecurity feelings are also there in some people. So Krishna doesn't like that kind of possessiveness or insecurity or territory consciousness. If somebody manifests that, Krishna will do the needful. Krishna will do the needful to purify us of such things. That's what Krishna is going to do to Kaliya. And he allowed himself to be bound by Kaliya, not to accept defeat from Kaliya. He came to only defeat Kaliya, but still, this just to experience the intensified love of Vrajavasis, Krishna did this. Now, very, very important point here. Krishna, while he was arrested by the coils of Kaliya, Krishna slowly started expanding himself. So he's inside the coils of Kaliya. Kaliya is arresting him. Suddenly, Krishna started expanding his body, and Kaliya just could not hold Krishna. And because of Krishna's bodily expansion, he's not becoming big, but somehow Kaliya is feeling some pressure from inside. Kaliya has to release him. Kaliya released him, and Krishna just jumped on the hoods of Kaliya and started dancing on the heads of Kaliya. The body of Kaliya is very slippery, very wet because of being in water, and very soft also. Very slippery, very soft. But Krishna is able to very harmoniously dance on the hoods of Kaliya, which are very slippery and soft and wet. And while he's dancing on one hood, remaining, thousands of hoods are coming and trying to bite Krishna. But whichever head is coming closer to bite Krishna, Krishna would jump on that hood and then subdue that and push it down and make Kaliya vomit blood, vomit all poison, and become completely energyless. Like that, Krishna danced on all of them, all those hoods. Important lesson here is, just as Kaliya's body is very soft, our tongue is also very soft. Just as Kaliya's body is very slippery, our tongue is also very slippery. Kaliya's body is soft, our tongue is also soft. Kaliya's body is slippery, our tongue is also slippery. Kaliya's body is wet, our tongue is also wet. But when Krishna danced on the hoods of Kaliya, all the poison in Kaliya's body and Kaliya's heart is completely purified. Similarly, when we allow Krishna's holy name to dance on our tongues, which are like Kaliya snakes, then all the contamination in us is also purified. So we need to allow Krishna's holy name to dance on our tongues. Kaliya literally had thousands of hoods. You may think, my tongue is very small. Not as big as Kaliya. No, it's more powerful than Kaliya. This one tongue, while chanting Krishna's name, also can criticize people, can find fault with people, can pass such discouraging and demotivating comments. This tongue can speak very harsh words, very foul words, very unparliamentary words sometimes. Or this tongue can speak gossip or fault finding even if there is no fault. So all the tongue can do. Or tongue can just may not find fault with anything, but just speak some useless topics, completely disconnected from bhakti. You may not criticize anyone, but you are just constantly saying, okay, what about this gadget? Iska RAM kitna, iska RAM kitna? It's fine. You know it, fine. Matter closed. Why should you dwell so much on that? So sometimes, kukatha mati ghnihi. When the tongue is utilized to speak bad topics, materialistic topics, topics that are disconnected to bhakti, topics that degrade our consciousness, degrade our souls, then the only hope for such a tongue, which is habituated for nonsensical topics, is to allow Krishna's holy name to dance on the tongue. When Krishna's holy name dances on the tongue, which is like Kaliya snake, then the tongue is purified, heart is also purified. Tongue, although it's a physical, visible organ, this tongue is connected to the heart. I'm not a doctor or physician to say this. I'm telling in spirit, this tongue, this slippery tongue, soft tongue, wet tongue that produces all kinds of sounds is very much connected to the heart. Because the emotions in the heart are expressed through the tongue. In that sense, there is a connection. I'm not speaking about connection between nerves and all that. I'm not speaking about the organ heart in the body. I'm speaking about the emotion, the seat of emotions. Heart is the seat of emotions. Heart is the seat of desires. Tongue expresses the desires of the heart. Tongue expresses the emotions of the heart. If there are negative emotions, tongue will speak negative stuff only. If there are positive emotions, tongue will speak positive emotions. Tongue will express positive emotions. If there are negative desires in the heart, tongue will speak about negative desires only. If there's a lot of negativity, envy, hatred towards another Vaishnava, tongue will speak that only. If there's a lot of appreciation and love and affection for another Vaishnava, tongue will express that only. Oh, this devotee is so nice. He has so much great service attitude. Tongue will speak that only. Not that you lose discrimination and then speak bad things as good things. That's not the point. But we should not fail to recognize the good side of other devotees. And when the heart recognizes the good side of devotees, then the tongue will start speaking the good side of devotees. But if the heart or the mind focuses more on the negative side of other people, whether they're devotees or non-devotees, then tongue will speak that negative stuff only. Wherever your heart or mind are focusing on, tongue will just express that stuff only. So to purify the tongue, we should allow the name of Krishna to dance. Sometimes people say, what's the point of chanting so many rounds when the mind is thinking of something else? Yes, you should focus your mind and tongue both on Krishna's name. That's great, that's the best. But if you can't do that, at least mechanically you chant, inattentively you chant. Let the tongue vibrate Krishna's names instead of some non-devotional topics or materialistic topics or gossip or some Vaishnava Ninda. Let the tongue, even if you are not hearing the holy name, let the tongue be engaged in Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. I mean, it's not the best, but better than just speaking Prajalpa. So if you just keep on uttering the name repeatedly, when you are walking from here to, we discussed it some time back, when we are walking from here to Vrindavan temple or back to ashram, you don't have anything to do. 5 minutes, 10 minutes you are walking, 7 minutes you are walking. If you are sitting next to a Vaishnava discussing some important subject matters related to service, that's a different thing. But if you have nothing, you are just walking alone, what will you do? Just chant Hare Krishna. Remember Krishna, remember some bhajans. Utilize the tongue. Jihve kirtaya keshavam muraripam cheto bhaja sridharam. Jihve kirtaya. Utilize your jihva to do kirtan of Krishna. Kulashekar Alvar says, Sa jihvamrita varshini pratipadam ya stauti narayanam. Sa jihva amrita varshini pratipadam. That tongue which is constantly showering nectar. Amrita varshini pratipadam. Every word that comes out of the tongue is just a glorification of Krishna. Sa jihvamrita varshini pratipadam ya stauti narayanam. Stauti Narayanam means you should do Narayana Stuti. Praise Lord Narayana. Utilize your tongue in that way. When you utilize your tongue to chant Krishna's names attentively, that's best. If you can't, at least inattentively. Utilize your tongue. Don't allow the tongue to speak something which is not devotional. Because the urge to speak is there. Jihva Vegam is there. We should channelize that. Either you do maun or you utilize that urge to speak something devotional or positive or chant Krishna's names. But if we don't have that taste or inclination to utilize the tongue to chant Krishna's names, that naturally the Jihva Vegam will allow you to speak so many other things, we'll end up wasting our time and spoiling our consciousness. It's easier said than done. I'm also struggling to apply it. But by reminding myself in front of all of you, I'll get your blessings and empowerment to implement it, not just speak about it. But let's use our tongue to speak good things. Let's utilize our tongue to chant Krishna's names. Let Krishna Katha dance on our tongues. Let Krishna's name dance on our tongues. Just as Kalia's body is very soft, very wet and very slippery. Our tongues are also very wet and soft and slippery. Just as when Krishna danced on the hoods of Kaliya, Kaliya is purified. Similarly, when Krishna Katha and Krishna Nam dance on our tongues, then our hearts are purified. So, although Kaliya is somewhat purified, not completely by the way, somewhat purified when Krishna danced on his hoods, means his pride is gone. He could realize his mistakes. He is no more that proud Kaliya. He has become little humbled. He is humiliated. That humility is born out of humiliation. Either you naturally become humble, voluntarily become humble, or Krishna will humiliate you so that you become humble. You decide which option is good for you. So basically, Kaliya is humbled, but he did not fully get Krishna's mercy. Krishna was merciful enough to allow Kaliya to embrace him for 48 minutes so tightly. Did you ever get embrace of Krishna for 48 minutes? Huh? Anyone here? Kaliya is more fortunate than you. Right? And did Krishna keep his lotus feet on your head? Did he dance on your heads? Well, you only have one head, by the way. Balimar has got that opportunity. So, but no. But Kaliya, although he had 1,000 heads, every single head of Kaliya had the opportunity to have Krishna dance on his head. Kaliya is bathed by the dust of Krishna's lotus feet. Although Kaliya had the opportunity to embrace Krishna for 48 minutes, although Kaliya had the opportunity to bathe all his heads with the dust of Krishna's lotus feet, still Kaliya did not receive the ultimate mercy of Krishna till his wives came and prayed for him. Isn't it? Although Kaliya received dust from Krishna's lotus feet on every single head he had, and although Kaliya had the opportunity to embrace Krishna for 48 minutes, till the Nagapatnis came and offered prayers to Krishna, Kaliya did not get real mercy of Krishna. Therefore, even if you happen to embrace Krishna, even if you get Krishna's dust on your lotus feet, on your head, without a devotee offering prayers to Krishna, you will not get real mercy of Krishna. Therefore, respecting Vaishnavas, being in the association of Vaishnavas is the real necessity of anyone who is practicing bhakti. Makes sense? It should. It should make sense. It is not my opinion that I am presenting in front of you to get your approval or just asking your opinion. What do you think about it? It is the proven fact in the universal spiritual history. Without the mercy of Vaishnavas, you cannot get the mercy of Krishna. With this I will conclude. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or comments? We discussed about Kaliya's territory consciousness. We discussed about how a Vaishnava has to make oneself very approachable towards others. A Vaishnava should not be generating some toxic vibrations, but should be generating pleasant and positive vibrations so that people feel confident to express themselves in front of such Vaishnavas, and many other lessons. Thank you very much. 1, 2, 3. 3 questions. Yes, Prabhu. Ask fast. I have another class now.
Those people who has the territory consciousness, so how we should behave with him? We should behave with him, those persons who have territory consciousness?
If they have territory consciousness, how should you deal with them? Okay. If they are younger than you, if they are your juniors, and if you have a reasonable relationship with them, you can politely, humbly advise them. I think this is not the right mindset, but you should make your advice in a very appealing, digestible, approachable, actionable format, and they should not feel that you are finding fault with them. They should understand their fault But you need to present it that way depending on your specific relationship. Sometimes strongly speaking will work, sometimes mildly speaking will work, sometimes directly speaking will work, sometimes indirectly speaking will work. समझदार को इशारा काफी है. You understand? If you just give them a signal, they will understand, oh, I think I'm doing okay. They'll become a little conscious. But sometimes even if you give them 10 pages of explanation, spending 1 hour, not much will go into their head what to do. If it is not happening, by your speech, you can always present the matter to someone else. Confidentially, you can present it to another Vaishnava, another devotee, with whom this person has some relationship, and let them advise. If you can't advise, you can escalate the matter to somebody else who can make a difference. If they're friends, or if they're your juniors, you may make an attempt to directly tell. Otherwise, you can refer the case to someone else. Sometimes just wait, tolerate, give them an opportunity to realize it on their own. See, when you have some slight headache, you may not immediately take a medicine. You may not go for a surgery. Hey, sir, dard ho raha hai, surgery karo. You will not go immediately to a doctor with this proposal. You just take some rest, sleep for half an hour, 1 hour, headache will go. But when you have some serious problem, then you will go for medication or even surgery. Similarly, when somebody is exhibiting some territory consciousness or possessiveness or some attachment or something, just because that privilege came to them just yesterday only, they are little excited. For example, when you purchase a new phone, there is some wrapper, some sticker on top. You will not even remove it also for next 1 week. Right? Then if somebody says, can you please give me, I will just see the model. They will take, first thing you will not give. Right? Even if you give, your glances are there only. What will he do with my phone, new phone? You just immediately take it within 1 minute. So sometimes you are too overly conscious of your new gadget because you purchased it recently. It happens, right? But after some time it will just go away. All attachment will go away. You will just throw like this. You just, you are not that careful. So similarly, when somebody gets the territory in their account, just yesterday only, very recently, they are territory conscious. And after some time, the territory has to search for him. Where is he? Why is he not conscious of this territory? Why is he showing so much interest in many other territories? Right? Sometimes when the privilege is very new, you are too attached to it. Let time heal. You don't have to immediately label the person as having territory consciousness just because they are little attached or possessive because of the newness of the experience. So after a few months or maybe a few days, they will become detached. Life will make them detached. Vaishnavas will make them detached. Okay. Next, any other one, two? I can take only one question. Yes, Vrindavanath Prabhu, you had a question? Okay. Yes, this Prabhu. Okay, mic is on. Okay, Prabhu, please you ask. He took the mic first. Then you started your question. He's very patiently waiting. Yes, Prabhu, ask.
Prabhuji, just one question. Like in the case of Kaliya, we see that his wives prayed for him and he was mercifully forgiven by Lord. But at the same time, there were others who were affected by him. So in practical case, so we may forgive, but there may be others who are affected by that particular person. How do we deal with that? Because they are still affected, but the person who caused the trouble may be forgiven. Maybe we can, but there are others who got affected. And is there a way to present that how they can also?
One thing is, you may not be able to undo whatever damage has already happened, but you can prevent the future damage by intervening into the situation at the right time, if you are responsible for it. But there is another reality also. Although it is a fact that an innocent person is unnecessarily troubled by this man who is envious or proud or whatever, still the reality is that this person, innocent person who is troubled by this tyrant, was supposed to be troubled because of some past karma. Acharyas say, like, for example, many people were troubled by Hiranyakashipu. Many people were troubled by Kamsa. Some of them were innocent, or many of them were innocent. But it could be because of their karma that they were troubled by this person in this way. But you may not present this philosophically. Hey, if somebody is troubled by someone, you cannot immediately, hey, that's your karma. No, you should address it. Otherwise, it will become your karma. If it is within your responsibility and within your capacity to address a situation and protect an innocent person from a tyrannic person, you should do it. It's a responsibility. But whatever has happened in the past, you may not be able to undo it. They underwent it. And why did that happen? They tried to come out of it, but it did not happen. That is because maybe they did some harm to someone else in the past. May not be in this lifetime, maybe 10 lifetimes back they have done something and they're experiencing that karma now. So there are some calculations going on behind everybody's person, behind everybody. Karmana daivanitrena. You may have done something and you must have forgotten it, but the devatas will not forget it. They are registering everything. They will give the reaction at the right time. And that right time, according to you, may be wrong time. But they are higher powers. They have decided it that way. Even in this regular world also, we see some people who are in the authoritative position or government or whatever, they are taking some decisions at some time. I mean, you have no control over it. I mean, if you were in their position, you must have done it in a different way at a different time, but they have done it and you are obliged to follow it. You have to keep left side on the road, and if you go to another country, you have to keep right side on the road. I mean, you have no control over it. When the sun rises, you have no control. When he sets, no control. Why the sun is so hot here? You have no control. So some things, people experience some pleasure or pain because of their own past good deeds or bad deeds as ordained by the devatas, higher forces. And that pain or pleasure will come to them through these agents. And if you happen to be in that scene, and if we can stop this agent who is giving them the result of their karma apparently, then it's your responsibility. If it is within your capacity, you should just immediately stop that injustice. But whatever has happened 5 years back, 10 years back, 20 years back, you may not be able to undo it now. It may be difficult, and I know it's very difficult. The trauma is very difficult. When somebody is unnecessarily troubled by others, it has a very deep impact on their heart, and they may not be able to come back to normal even after a long time. So we need to be empathetic and sympathetic towards them to the best of our ability. And if it is within your capacity, you may have to give a feedback or a correction or a punishment to someone who has done something wrong. But what Bhagavatam teaches us through the example of Suniti's counseling to Dhruva, or the way Dharma expressed his opinion in front of Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj asked, Dharma bull, who tortured you? Who troubled you? Tell me. It's very clear. Kali personified has tortured Dharma bull, cutting his 3 legs. But Dharma bull did not point out, he is the cause of my problem. He is the cause of my suffering. Dharma said, some say Kala is the cause, some say Karma is the cause, some say Daiva is the cause, some say Swabhava is the cause. So many, we are bewildered by the opinions of different philosophers. We don't know, we are not sure who is the cause of my suffering. And ultimately Krishna is the cause of all causes. That's the reply given by Dharma. So if you happen to be on the side of Dharma, or if you happen to be the victim, then you may have to reconcile it in this way that, okay, my own past misdeeds is the cause and Krishna sanctioned it. But if we happen to be the king or the ruler or someone who is responsible for the situation, like Parikshit Maharaj immediately pick up a sword and then attack this Kali. Dharma said, Dharma did not point out Kali as the cause of his suffering. But But Parikshit Maharaj pointed out Kali as the cause of suffering. He appreciated dharma, immediately tried to punish Kali. You got it? So, Kali, Parikshit Maharaj did not say, okay, dharma is not pointing out, I'll just keep quiet. I don't have to do anything. If dharma says Kali has troubled me, I can go and punish him. But dharma himself is not saying that, so let me just go and chant Hare Krishna. I'll go on my tour. He would have said that, but he didn't say that. So Parikshit Maharaj took it as his responsibility. In short, if it is within your responsibility and within your capacity to protect dharma and punish those people who take the side of adharma, you have to do it. Right? You can tolerate some personal inconvenience, you can tolerate some happiness and distress, you can tolerate some heat and cold, but you can't tolerate injustice, especially if it is within your capacity and if it is your responsibility. If you have the authority and ability to counteract injustice, do it. You have to do it. But when you happen to be the recipient of some trouble or inconvenience, internally you should reconcile. You may have to address externally by punishing the person or giving a feedback to the person, but at least internally you should reconcile that it's a result of my past misdeed. And Krishna sanctioned it. Tatena kampam sasamikshabado bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam. You know that shloka. Okay, thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.